All right, guys, so this is gonna be the first road legal run. Pretty nervous. I don't know why. I've seen that this thing drives good, but for some reason I was just a little nervous, you know. All right, let's get this show on the road. Screaming so hot right now. Maybe not enough fluid in a toy converter. I'm about to stop at the store anyway. Go grab some gas. And that seems like it's running a bit better. Alright, I just cranked it back up. She's stumbling a little bit and I have no idea why. Make me a little nervous, but you know, it's all good. Turn on my lights again. Definitely some crazy vibration going on right now. Let me keep these on. Dude, this sounds crazy. Oh look, my gear thing is working now. Dude, she is running funny right now.
Later that same evening.
Yeah, so toy converter took a shit on me and left me stranded. Now mind you, there was only like a total of maybe 10 minutes of driving. So yeah, good times, but it's all good. Man, I am very, very disappointed. I drove this thing for about 10 minutes total yesterday, and as I was driving, I noticed like as I was driving, the car just like kind of didn't feel like it was getting any power, right? So I'm like revving it, like I'm pressing the throttle, and there's no response. So like it's revving, but the car won't go any faster. All right, so sitting here, I end up coasting to a stop while my car is idling. I put it in park, try to go back and drive. It shifts in the drive, just does not move. Go in reverse, does not move. I'm like revving this thing up to like 5,000. This thing is not budging. Like there was times where like I would rev it up to about 5,000 and it would catch for like a split second, and then like it'll move like 5 feet and then it just stop. I don't know I know what it is, you know, it's the torque converter, but like I'm trying to figure out what did I do wrong. Now this torque converter was a bit on the cheaper side. I don't remember the brand, but it cost me 600 bucks, like 600 and some change for I think it's 27 to 2900 RPM stall. Now, mind you, this car maybe has 10 miles on it, you know, so I'm not understanding why that all happened. But yeah, I'm gonna have to drop the transmission. I just got done doing a big job, dude. I just pulled the motor. This is getting really annoying. But I don't know, man. Like maybe it was something I did. Like maybe whenever I pulled the motor and pushed the torque converter back in, maybe it didn't see all the way and it burnt itself out or something. I'm not sure. But I did notice as well yesterday when I turned it over, because it'll idle just fine, but I did hear some noise coming from like the transmission, and there's almost no point of me even trying to run this thing again. So I'm already trying to source out another transmission and another torque converter. I'm not about to go through it and try to figure out which one was the issue right now. I bought that transmission for, you know, 170 bucks at a junkyard, you know, so just go get another torque converter, go get another transmission. Hell, might even rebuild this one later on or something, I don't know. But we're gonna see what really happens. Yeah, so it's the next morning, and I didn't really do nothing last night but take pictures and jack up the car. So I'm assuming that the front pump and the transmission is done for, and I'm also assuming that the torque converter is probably done for at this point. So what I'm about to do is just start tearing this thing apart. Got to get the drive shaft out. I have to it's actually a lot that I have to do. Honestly, not really, but it seems like a lot. I have to take the drive shaft out, have to disconnect the shifter and whatnot, and also disconnect trans lines, and then little stuff. It's just little stuff, so I'm not too worried about it, but really didn't want to have to do this to begin with, so here I am. Alright guys, so I've already disconnected the torque converter. As you can see, it spins and the flywheel don't spin. I've already taken out the drive shaft. Really at this point, the only thing that's holding this transmission up is the bell housing bolts and the cross member. But right now, I'm about to take out the trans lines. Hopefully this thing does not drip fluid everywhere, because I do not feel like getting covered. Yep, at this point it only really take me about 10 minutes if I'm, you know, actually quick enough. Haven't really been wanting to do this, so yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad job, but you know, whenever you like crunch out so much work, oh god, all right, whenever you crunch out so much work and then you think you're done, and then it turns out you're not, it's very annoying. I'll tell you, very annoying. Oh, my fucking camera got something on it. Now, gotta do this one right here. Yeah, I'm telling you, you know, it was, thought I was done, that's all. But I know as a car guy, the work never stops. Like, don't get me wrong, I already knew that. But I thought it was at least close to stopping for a moment, you know? Thought I was gonna be getting most of this stuff done and never have to look at it again. I literally jinxed myself on the last video, me driving the car. I was like, yeah, never really had any big hiccups with this car, you know, only little minor setbacks, until I had to pull the motor out and rebuild it. And now I got to pull the transmission out and either replace it or get a new pump. Now, mind you, this is a junkyard transmission. I paid, you know, a couple $100 for. The pump, a brand new pump, is more expensive than what I bought this transmission for. So at this point, I'm kind of thinking about just probably just getting another junkyard transmission at this point. If I find one, I find one. If I don't, then I'll probably get another pump. But at this point, you know, it's almost not even worth it for what I paid. All right, so here we are. I got, I think, 4 of the bell housing bolts out. I'm gonna get the last, I think, 2 from the top because I don't want to be under this thing if it falls. So yeah, I'm getting from the top, and I have my jack right there, and I have my jack stand under my oil pan just in case the engine start leaning down. That will solve that problem so it doesn't mess up my motor mounts. So yeah, and then after this, it should just be cross member and it's out. All right, guys, so it is out. What I did, you seen I set it on my chest and slid it down. Now, I know I was able to do that. I've done it many of times. So honestly, if you don't think you can do that or ever have done that, don't do it. Yeah, worked out just fine for me. It is out. I got trans fluid everywhere. It's all good. I'm gonna clean it up. But yeah, it's time to slide this thing out. All right, so as you see, the car is pretty damn high, really high, because here's the transmission and here's the new transmission. Now, something about this transmission is not working, and I don't know if it's the torque converter or the actual pump, and I cannot tell, but I think it's a little bit of both, because it turns out that I have the wrong flex plate. I have a 6.0 flex plate with a 3-bolt converter, right? So with the 3-bolt converter, you must have a dished flex plate for like the 5.3s and stuff. Yeah, it took a lot of research, but I did not know that. Yeah, so I have the right one now that's supposed to be on there, this one. And here's the new foil ADE. The only reason I got a new one was because, first of all, this was a junkyard foil ADE. Cost me like less than $200. Now, don't get me wrong, that torque converter was like $700-800, but I don't know which one is bad, and I'd rather get this thing running, and I want to figure out later which one of these is bad. I honestly think I'm probably going to keep this one, because worst case, it probably just needs a new pump. New pump is $500, but I wasn't willing to spend that because I got this one for less than $500. Also, I don't know how good of a condition it is. It is 2007. I just put this stuff on here. It don't look bad. I do see that somebody tried to seal this thing up, so I am going to take the bottom part of this pan off to see what's been done to it. I honestly don't think nothing crazy, but I think maybe they just changed the filter on it or something and didn't have the actual seal. or maybe it was leaking and they decided to do that, which either one of those is not bad because I have the actual kit anyway for the filter and the actual pan. So what I'm about to do, flip this thing over, start taking this stuff apart, putting on the new gasket and the filter, see what this thing looks like on the inside, and yeah, see what we can do. Oh, it don't look that bad in here from what I see. Whew.
Several days later.
And the rest is cold,
Oh, that must be nice.
hard.
At least you got that, bro.
Well, I left you your option over there. You just never took it. That's your fault.
It's just so far back, you know? Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Ah, yeah. That'll make the job easier.
Hopefully this shit never gotta come apart again. I'm so tired of doing this. First I had to pull the motor, then I had to pull the transmission. Somebody told me, they was like, yep. They was like, make it bulletproof now. You know, they was like, break it now and it'll be bulletproof later, you know? So I was like, you know what? That's the only way I can think about it.
I'll admit this transmission jack is making this part easier.
Oh, dude, there's no way, there's no way in hell we can lift this thing up and put a bolt in here, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like lift it up and then spin it and then put a bolt in, that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like automatic problems.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Manual life don't have that.
Yeah, all you gotta do is deal with fucking synchros not matching and shit.
Yeah. Just like a bicycle.
Bicycle my ass. And I said like a fucking bicycle.
You over here with fucking Megatron. No wonder you have problems.
Hey, these things, before I destroyed it, it was bulletproof. You know? Alright, we gotta push it over towards the other side a little bit.
Oh yeah, plenty of room.
Alright. Mine's starting to get close to hitting the hose fittings.
Oh yeah, that's looking.
There we
Oh
go.
yeah, it's going in. Look at.
Yep. Alright, so let me go grab the bell housing bolts. Alright, so I've been doing a lot since you guys seen. We mounted the transmission. I installed the torque converter bolts. I installed the cross member, the drive shaft, all the electronics, the shifter. Yeah, I've been doing a lot. Right now, I'm about to probably hook up the starter and also move the trans lines out the way. Oh yeah, by the way, I also installed those as well. You probably can't see up there. I don't know if you guys remember on my video whenever I was talking about how I made the cross member. This is the cross member right here. Still goes in the stock location. And all I have to do is cut the tab off right here. You can see my cut marks, and then weld it onto the other side. So that's how I did that, and I think it looks really good. So yeah, I think everything is actually installed with the transmission. So I gotta add fluid in it and then also put the starter on, and I think that's it. So we'll see. I'll fill up the transmission now. I think everything is buttoned up. So we're gonna see. All right, so got everything hooked up. So now about to see how this thing goes. I know the car runs. That's not the big issue. I'm gonna have to put it in the gear.
You want to put it down first?
No. I don't know what the fuck that was. I don't know. Something to do with that starter for sure. I don't know why it sounds like that. It sounds horrible. All right, guys, so a little bit of time has passed. As you see, the car is on the ground. It's not on jacks anymore. So that screeching noise when I first started up, that was actually the starter misaligned with the flex plate. And I learned that you can just use a shim to get that in order. So I shimmed that properly, got that all fixed, but I had to pull the motor because the flex plate was not a good one from the factory. So yeah, let me go ahead and start this thing up again. Sounds 100 times better now. Guys, it's just me driving it right now. You see it shifts pretty good whenever I shift first, second, everything. My only issue right now, I think it might not it's just because I don't have enough fluid in there or something, but sometimes from like a dead stop it'll lurch very, very hard. Like, I don't know, I got everything shimmed correctly, you know, everything. So yeah, I don't know what that is. But everything else seems pretty good. Like, you see, I just shifted into third. It sounds really good. I'm gonna baby this thing for the most part because, you know, brand new torque converter. This is a new to me transmission, so I don't want to, you know, mess nothing up. But it just lunged very hard sometimes. I'm gonna check the fluid levels whenever I get back home. Just double check everything. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate y'all stopping by, watching me drop the transmission and put it back up, or a new transmission back up. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.